millions of years, mankind lived just like the animals. And something happened, which unleashed the power of our imagination. We learned to talk.
Billy, hello.
Hey, I called a minute ago. I think you guys accidentally hung up on me or something. But what I was just saying is that I was reading in the Bible the other day, and it was telling me that I should rape my mother. And
Yeah? Oh, okay. Well, he's gone again. Well, the Bible does condone incest and all sorts of interesting things.
And rape is great as long as you can go ahead and buy her from her father later.
That's right. That's right. So there is some nasty stuff in the Bible. Our caller was pulling our leg, but he definitely gave us an opening here, right?
Oh yeah, it's one of the most evil books around. When people take it literally as a foundation for morality, it's a very evil book. Otherwise, it's as bad as taking the Grimms for morality. And if anybody's ever read an actual Grimm's fairy tale, you know that is not the way you want to live your life.
Okay, we'll take another caller. Joe, hello.
Yeah. Can you guys do a show without making a single reference to a religious concept? And I ask you if...
Well, we're atheism show, so...
Well, that's the thing. Why don't you call yourself anti-theist instead of atheist? And perhaps you could expound on that, because it seems like it's like you just said that the Bible is an evil. You just invoked a religious concept to describe the Bible.
Well, we could do it.
Why are you even talking about the Bible? I mean,
well, a lot of people live their life by that.
What does an atheist have to talk about the Bible? Seems like there's a lot of other things to talk about if you're an atheist.
Actually, sir, we started by talking about a lot of things.
Or something such as that.
We started by talking about science, legislation, and medicine. And we talked about it from the perspective of an atheist who's really unhappy that you have people injecting their own personal religion into it. We mentioned the Bible just now because we have this special ed retard who keeps calling in and pretending to get these things out of the Bible. So, of course, we had to address that. Well, we didn't have to.
Well, you guys, atheists, your show seems to be pretty motivated, sort of an anti-theism sort of motivation, rather than sort of there's something a bit impure about your atheism.
Impure?
Yes.
Could you expound on that?
Intellectual dishonesty. In other words,
well, we're trying to point out where theism gets the wrong answer.
Well, that's why?
Because the wrong answer affects us.
I mean, it's like atheism can't exist without religion on the other side of it.
Well, yes, because
it's like you spend your whole dang days talking about theism or something. It's just kind of bizarre.
We talk about science quite a bit and its positive benefit to mankind, and we talk about the separation of church and state as a good concept. Does that
but is separation, is the political idea of separation of church and state dependent upon the concept of atheism? Or is it you see
no, there are a lot of very sensible
it's a political idea that
separation.
doesn't require atheism. I don't have to be an atheist to be an advocate of separation of church and state.
Well, that's right, but maybe we can join forces with those folks, and we've suggested that and actually done that in many cases.
I'm just struggling with what you guys are about, because is it about just dissing the Bible and fundamentalist Christians, or just religious thought in general?
Atheism is just the lack of a belief in God. It's very, very simple idea, and because it's so simple, it's a very broad concept. It incorporates, a lot of folks can call themselves atheists, and you can take that perspective and talk about various things like the government and how science's influence on things, and various legislation that's going on. Mm-hmm. All sorts of things. So we take on various topics on our show from an atheist perspective and run with them and see where we go.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right.
You didn't sound convinced.
Well, yeah. Well, theism is making certain claims and things that we think are wrong, and so we're criticizing them. Yes, we do spend a good bit of time, criticizing things. I think that the U.S. government, the checks and balances in the U.S. government, is a pretty damn wonderful thing, and I would very much hate to see it sabotaged. And so I'm going to speak out against those sorts of things, and that's what I'm doing. I hate to see science sabotaged by ulterior motives. I hate to see all sorts of things.
And some people don't realize that ideas garnered from religion are so prevalent and so pervasive throughout society that it's not really something religious to begin with, like marriage. That is not a religious institution, and yet it is so embedded in people's consciousness that it is. We're actually having to fight for it as a basic human right for people. And that is not necessarily per se an atheist issue, but the fact that it is religion where it should not be makes it an atheist issue.
Right. Yeah, we don't want to have the world make decisions on our behalf based on beliefs that we think are nonsense. Mm-hmm. That sort of thing. All right, we're getting low on time, so we're going to take one more caller. Clifton?
Hey, this is Don.
Oh, Hello? This is Don. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry?
I'd like to know, are you people real scientists, or are you just...
I'm a scientist, yes, sir.
I'm in computer programming, but where is that a legitimate science that in order that you can determine where creation, started and all that kind of stuff? And the other lady, are you a scientist?
No, I haven't claimed to be.
Oh, you're just a very intelligent person. Okay, let me ask you this. Can I get an honest answer from you as to what faith is and why you think that atheism is not faith, and I'll hang up.
Sure. Do you mean faith in the religious terms? Like a faith in God type thing? Because faith in general is just...
faith as to what you believe if there isn't. Could you tell me why atheism does not qualify as a legitimate faith?
Sure.
I'm going to hang up and listen.
Because atheism is basically, by definition, the lack of a belief in God. So we are...
No, that's not... that's not...
That is exactly what it is. There's no reason to believe there's a God.
Well, all right, that's faith.
No, it's not faith.
You believe that there is no God, and you're not honest about it.
No, sir,
that's not... You have these little cute phrases.
Sir, will you finish? Would you let me finish for a moment?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, it is not faith because we have not been shown evidence, and I'm not saying, oh, well, I don't want that to mean God.
And we have not shown evidence that there is no God.
Big pardon?
It's a faith. And yet...
Well, you're not going to let us finish, so why don't you just go ahead and get what you have off your chest?
Okay, no, we're running out of time, so I'm sorry about that.
More sophisticated theologians proclaim the sexlessness of God, while some feminist theologians seek to redress historic injustices by designating her female. But what, after all, is the difference between a non-existent female and a non-existent male?